October 16th, 2024. A hotel balcony in Buenos Aires. A young man who once stood on the world's biggest stages, who had millions of fans screaming his name, who lived the dream so many can only imagine, took his last breath at just 31 years old. This is the story of Liam Payne's final year, a year that saw him fighting battles most of us will never understand, cycling through hope and despair, sobriety and relapse, love and loneliness. What you're about to hear isn't just another celebrity tragedy, it's a cautionary tale about fame, pressure, and the invisible demons that haunt even those who seem to have it all. This is the untold story of Liam Payne's last 12 months on Earth. Before we dive into his final year, let's talk about who Liam Payne really was. Born in Wolverhampton, England on August 29, 1993, Liam wasn't supposed to survive. He was born 3 weeks premature with serious kidney problems that required 32 injections in his arm every single day. His parents were told to be prepared for the worst, but Liam was a fighter from day one. Fast forward to 2010. A 17-year-old Liam walked onto the X Factor stage for the second time, and this time, his life changed forever. Simon Cowell saw something special and decided to put him in a band with 4 other boys who had also auditioned as solo artists: Harry Styles, Niall Horan, Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik. Together, they became One Direction, one of the biggest boy bands in history. The success was astronomical: 6 top 10 hits on the Billboard charts, sold-out stadiums worldwide, millions of devoted fans called Directioners. But here's what most people didn't see: the pressure, the exhaustion, the loss of privacy, and the coping mechanisms that would follow Liam for years to come. When the band went on hiatus in 2016, Liam launched a solo career. His single Strip That Down hit number 3 in the UK and number 10 in the US. He seemed unstoppable. But behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. Let's talk about 2023, the year that set everything in motion. In interviews, Liam had been brutally honest about hitting rock bottom. He talked about severe suicidal thoughts, about his pills and booze face, about looking at photos of himself and barely recognizing the person staring back. He admitted to drinking heavily during One Direction days, saying it was like putting on a Disney costume before going on stage, except underneath that costume, he was drunk most of the time. But then something changed. In 2023, Liam made a decision that gave his fans hope. He checked into rehab and stayed for 100 days. When he emerged, he posted a video to YouTube announcing his sobriety, with genuine optimism in his voice. He said he felt like he finally had a grip on life again, that he needed to take time out because he'd become someone he didn't recognize. For a moment, it seemed like the worst was behind him. But addiction is never a straight line. According to his close friend Roger Noors, Liam's journey through 2023 was a roller coaster of terrifying lows. Noors revealed that in May 2023, Liam suffered a dangerous overdose in the UK and had to be resuscitated by doctors. This wasn't just a close call, this was a brush with death. And tragically, it wasn't the last one. Throughout late 2023, the pattern continued: hospital visits, more resuscitations. His addiction was worsening, reportedly involving harder drugs. And his family and friends felt helpless watching someone they loved spiral despite their best efforts to intervene. In March 2024, Liam entered a rehabilitation facility in Spain, but he left before completing the treatment. The cycle of relapse continued. His friend Roger Noors described one particularly heartbreaking incident in April 2024, when Liam had to be resuscitated again following another near-fatal overdose. The picture painted was of a man who desperately needed help, but couldn't seem to break free from the grip of addiction. His family and friends were doing everything they could, but addiction is a powerful enemy. Here's where things get even more complex. During this same period, Liam was dealing with relationship turmoil. His ex-fiancée Maya Henry had sent cease and desist letters, alleging disturbing behavior and erratic messages. Yet at the same time, Liam was in a relationship with influencer Kate Cassidy, and according to friends, he seemed genuinely in love. Noors even claimed that Liam wanted to marry Kate and had asked him to be his best man just 2 days before his death. The summer of 2024 brought what appeared to be another period of clarity. While living in Miami, Liam seemed to have creative energy again. He stayed sober for about 4 months, according to sources. But then came August, and a trip back to the UK. Nors said he had a strong argument with Liam, trying to discourage him from going because he could tell Liam had started using drugs again. In an email dated August 23rd, Nors wrote to Liam's attorney and father expressing serious concern for his well-being. October 2024. Liam flew to Buenos Aires, Argentina, with his girlfriend Kate Cassidy. They were there to attend a concert by his former One Direction bandmate Niall Horan. On October 2nd, Liam was seen at the concert, dancing and seemingly in good spirits. It appeared to be an olive branch after he had criticized One Direction in a previous interview. Maybe, just maybe, he was finding his way back. Kate stayed with Liam in Argentina for about 2 weeks, but then she had to return home. She had responsibilities to take care of, including their dog. On October 12th, 4 days before Liam's death, they shared what Kate would later describe as a heartfelt, emotional goodbye. She sat on the couch, telling him how much she would miss him and how much she loved him. Liam looked at her and said something that would haunt her forever. "Kate, you're going to miss your flight. You're acting like this is the last time you're ever going to see me again." But it was. That was the last time Kate saw Liam alive. On October 16th, 2024, Liam was staying at the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel. According to multiple sources, the day started with disturbing behavior. At 9:45 a.m., Liam reportedly messaged a sex worker he'd found online, offering $5,000. Hours later, there was a dispute when Liam allegedly refused to pay, leading to complaints to hotel staff. Throughout the day, Liam's behavior became increasingly erratic. He was reportedly breaking objects in his hotel room, which was described by police as being in complete disarray. Furniture was broken, a TV was smashed, and there were traces of drugs scattered around. Around 5 p.m., the hotel's reception manager made a 911 call, saying they had a guest who was under the influence of drugs and alcohol and was destroying the room. The manager expressed concern that the guest might do something to put his life at risk because the room had a balcony. At 5:07 p.m., just minutes after that call, Liam Payne fell from his third-floor balcony. First responders arrived at 5:11 p.m., but it was too late. He died from multiple traumatic injuries and internal bleeding. The toxicology report would later reveal that he had alcohol, cocaine, prescription antidepressants, pink cocaine, which is a dangerous mixture of methamphetamine, ketamine, and MDMA, along with benzodiazepines and crack cocaine in his system. The news sent shockwaves around the world. Fans gathered outside the hotel, lighting candles and singing One Direction songs. Social media exploded with tributes. His One Direction bandmates released statements expressing their devastation. Lewis wrote that he would have loved to share the stage with Liam again, but it wasn't to be. The investigation that followed was complex. 5 people were initially charged in connection with Liam's death, including hotel employees and Roger Nors, who faced charges of negligent homicide for allegedly abandoning Liam. However, some of these charges were later dropped following an appeal. The legal questions centered around whether hotel staff acted appropriately and what responsibility the hotel bore for the tragedy. Simon Cowell, the man who created One Direction, spoke publicly about Liam's death. He said the moment he heard the news felt like when his own father passed away. He called Liam's parents immediately, feeling a parental urge to reach out. Cowell reflected on the brutal realities of fame and admitted that a conversation he'd had with Liam about the pressures of the industry now haunted him. Liam Payne's story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about fame and the entertainment industry. Here was someone who achieved the dream millions fantasize about, yet that dream came with a price no one could have predicted. The relentless touring, the lack of privacy, the constant scrutiny, the pressure to stay relevant, it all created a perfect storm for mental health struggles and addiction. Studies show that 73% of independent musicians struggle with mental health issues, and over 70% of people entering addiction treatment also needed mental health support. Liam's story isn't unique. Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Avicii, Matthew Perry, the list of talented artists who lost their battle with addiction goes on and on. After Liam's death, a fan started a petition calling for Liam's law to protect artists' mental health. The petition demanded mandatory access to mental health professionals, regular mental health checks, and adequate rest periods for artists. Within 5 days, over 68,000 people signed it. The question we have to ask ourselves is, why does someone have to die before we take action? Liam's sober coach, Chip Summers, said something profound. He explained that if you're an artist coming out of a massive band like One Direction, you don't have time to stop and take 3 years to do the therapeutic work you need. You've got to keep moving, keep producing, keep staying relevant. The industry doesn't allow for healing. It demands performance.